Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the video. Today we're doing round 4 of the GT3 multi-class VSCR championship. We're driving Red Bull Ring today, and let's get into it. So after the nightmare that was Bathurst, I walked away from that race pretty frustrated with myself. There was a lot of potential in the car, and I threw away every opportunity I got with mistakes, damage, and I had a terrible race, honestly. And so coming in this round, I really wanted to prove myself and prove that Bathurst was just a one-off fluke. So because of that, I completely changed my mentality. I practiced way more every day, ran multiple race simulations, tested different strategies, and even looked at how the weather might affect things later in the race. And honestly, it paid off a ton. Before we get into it, if you enjoy GT7 league racing like this, make sure to consider subscribing. I'm opening every round of this championship, and the season is already getting to a pretty chaotic start. So let's get into it. Qualifying was decent. I was about 4/10 off pole, which isn't amazing because I left a lot of time on the table. In practice, I could comfortably do mid-129s, but in qualifying, I only managed a low 130. But these conditions were a little tricky because it was damp, the track was cold, so there's less grip, and turn 1 had some pretty bad wind, so that affected my exit onto turn 2 and 3, so that cost a lot of time. So, lined up P2 on the grid, which is my best qualifying this season, but it could have been pole if I nailed the lap. Let's stop beating around the bush and get into the race start. So coming to the race start, my car has poor acceleration compared to Steve's and Shaq's behind me. So I lose a lot of ground to them, Shaq gains on me, Steve pulls away. So I just try to take turn 1 safely, not get rammed and not ram Steve. But out of nowhere, Ryuichi decides to channel his inner Mercedes, slams up the inside, shoves me and Shaq out the way, and takes second position. This is just the stupidest move ever, and he got a 10-second penalty for it. And then the next lap, he does it again to me, pushes me out the way and takes P2 again. I lose a lot of time in this, and it's just absolutely insane that he decided to do this. So that cost me a lot of time. Now I have an extra car to overtake if I want to get P1. Luckily, I could rely on Ryuichi and Steve battling to catch up. And that's just what I did. I mean, look how much time I get in this corner here just from them. So now I can follow into turn 4, and this is just going to create some awesome racing there. They're going side by side. I'm getting more time. I'm alongside Steve. I get a poor exit there. Car snaps a bit. Ryuichi's in the lead now. This is just going to be crazy coming into turn 6 here. He gets a little wide there. I pass him on the inside. Awesome move. Now I'm fighting back again for P1. I get a good exit on Steve. So I decide I'm going to try to pass him for the lead here on the second last corner. I start weaving, trying to pressure Steve into a mistake. And I go on the outside, and then bam! Ryuichi just plows into the back of me, pushes me into Steve. Steve gets rear damage. I spin. I lose about 5 seconds here, and I get demoted down to P4. Absolutely terrible. He gets a 5-second penalty for this. So Ryuichi and Steve keep battling. Ryuichi moves up to the lead. They keep fighting, and this is just a perfect chance for me to put my head down, catch up while they battle. They're gonna lose time. Ryuichi rear ends Steve there, pushes him out the way. And so look how much time I'm getting here. It's a 3-way battle now. I'm coming in making it a 4-way battle. It's just going to create an awesome battle here. And then, unfortunately, Typhoon here, he spins himself on the curb. He uses traction there. So that's one less guy to worry about. And he slows down Ryuichi from it. So I'm back into P2 now. Steve has a penalty. He has to serve it. So I come out just in front of him, barely. So now I'm leaving the race. So I decide, all right, put your head down, pick up the pace, and build a gap, because we're going to want to keep this gap big. And after 6 laps, I did just that. I mean, look at this gap to Ryuichi. But then my softs started to die a lot. The mediums became faster, so Steve caught up. That's when I decided it's a good time to come to the pits for no set of softs. I'm doing a soft strategy. Steve is doing medium soft, and so is everyone else. So I'm going to have pace advantage because I'm doing faster tire twice, when everyone's only doing the faster tire once. So hopefully that gets an overcut on everyone else. And that's exactly what it did. I mean, look at this gap. Just swapping back from each one's view. Look at that gap to P2. That's about an 8 to 10 second gap to Ryuichi and P2. Which is absolutely amazing. The overcut worked perfectly. And then coming into the end of the race, 10 minutes later, I've got a great gap. But rain is on the radar. So I decide to risk it and stay out one more lap. And hope that the rain comes in at the end of the lap. It didn't. It starts absolutely pouring here. The track is so slippery. I have no grip. I go off into the gravel a little bit. Luckily, I don't beach it. And just like 90% throttle, the car just slides crazy. I'm looking at these power slides I'm doing here. And there's no grip on these softs in this torrential rain. Like, I'm going wide here, trying just to find any grip. I gassed up a little too much. I spin out. Luckily, my car control is amazing, not to brag. And I pull off an amazing 360. So I saved myself losing a lot of time here, but the track conditions are just terrible on these softs. So obviously, it's going to be a good time to come in. So a couple corners later, I send into the pits, having to avoid the GT4 traffic, which is super scary when you have no grip on softs. So yeah, I peel in here, and I decide I'm going to go for inters. So let's see if that pays off. So I come out here, and I actually increased my gap to P2 by 5 seconds. I come out, it's a 13-second gap now. However, Ryochi pitted for wets, and I realized coming out the box, it's wet conditions. So I realized I have to change my lines a lot and just drive off all the grease if I want to gain some pace on these inters and hold my position and keep the win. So I focused on just not spinning and going offline so I could find any grip I could, because when you're on the racing line on inters in wet conditions, it's super slippery just because of all the grease. And that's exactly what I did. Luckily, I held my pace, and the gap actually stayed stable. So I finished 13 seconds ahead of Ryochi and took home the win. So this makes it the second win of the season, 4 races in. I've won half the races now, and I want to keep this trend up because I desperately need to catch Steve so I can win this title. We finished the race 14 points now behind Steve because, unfortunately, after Ryochi's penalties for being a terrorist, Steve got promoted to P2. So I gained points, but it's not as much as I need to, so I need to pick up the pace, keep winning, so I can catch him. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. We've got a great race coming up next Tuesday in Croatia, Dragon's Trail, with the infamous Death Chicane. So yeah, tune in if you want to see that. Peace.